The goal of the show is to help you break in and thrive in advertising. We do that every single week by sharing the stories and advice of those rocking it on the other side. And every once in a while, we will break into an ad agency to show you what it's like to work there. This episode is sponsored by the Shipyard. It's an agency that was founded in Ohio, but in this episode, we'll be in their San Diego office. I've always wanted to work in San Diego. This would be the ad agency to join if you want to look at that city. It's fantastic. We have a lot of content releasing today and tomorrow, really showcasing what is it like to work in that city here. But on this episode specifically, we got Rick Milenthal, who's the chairman and CEO, who's going to tell you the story and the vision for the agency. Joining Rick is Amanda Moul, who is the vice president of account management for their West Coast division. All of this in this episode and more. And I think some good homework, or if you want to follow along, you can go to their website, theshipyard.com/work, to see some of their work for clients like Joby, Veloz, and Ohio Lottery, all on that page. But for now, on with the show. Kick it, Ellie. Hello, thanks so much for having us at the Shipyard. My first question for you guys is, why is it called the Shipyard? Why did you name this agency the Shipyard?
Well, we talk about engineering brand love. You know, a ship, if you ever look at a ship, it has great engineering, but great technology, great engineering, but it also is a beautiful design. Ships are beautiful. So that was called the Shipyard. The clients are the ships. We're the Shipyard, so we're not supposed to be the famous one. You know, the clients are famous. And we started in Columbus, Ohio, as you know, right in the heartland, the Shipyard, and then spread around the country. And when we came here in San Diego, we also called it the Shipyard. And then I found out, you look out this window, there's a real shipyard here.
Oh, yeah. That was legit.
My favorite thing is people ask me, oh, what ships do you build? And I say, I don't build ships, I build ads.
That's exactly right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so-
It's awesome. Well, it's really exciting to be here. We got the office in the background. Watch on YouTube. It's a little plug for you. But I think let's get into it first. Who are we talking with right now?
I'm Rick Milenthal. I'm CEO and founder of the Shipyard.
And I'm Amanda Moul. I'm the vice president of account management on the West Coast.
Fantastic. Gino, kick us off.
All right, let's
go.
talk about this. So you got 2 office locations. That's correct. Did we miss any
But it's
locations?
like 5 or 6, but the big ones are Columbus, Ohio, which is headquarters. San Diego's our California headquarters. We do have an office in Sacramento. We have an office in New York, one in Denver.
Incredible.
And so, yeah, we're all around.
And how long?
But all in the U.S.
How long has this agency been operating?
We started in 2013.
Wonderful.
With this idea of bringing technology and creativity together, which everyone talks about now, but back then, nobody talked about it. They really didn't. You had the data guys who thought the creative folks, were just superficial pot smokers, and the creative folks just thought the data guys were squelching their creativity. And they were right, but anyway.
What was
it took like, I thought it was easy, because data technology is just about understanding humanity, understanding people. We know each other in our roles here, but there's thousands of things about us that we don't know. But right now, you can track all that. That's what's great about technology and data. Unfortunately, people talk about it in a very nerdy way, but the fact is just the understanding of humanity. And if you understand humanity, like if we were talking and I got to know things about you, how would I prove that I knew something about you? I might say something relevant, say something compelling, show that I listen. And that's all this is, except in millions and billions of elements. And then so we thought that would fuel creativity, but the truth is it was Mars and Venus for a long time, but until we got our shit together, and then things ascended.
Can you explain to me talk to me, what does Mars and Venus, what do you mean by that?
Well, the Mars and Venus book, Men and Women, Mars and Venus, some are more emotional, or, some are more left brain, right brain. And so what you mean is it's funny how people can see themselves each as aliens to each other.
Right.
And then they make a presumption. I'm different. I don't belong here. I don't live here. Until you sort of bring that together, have an understanding of
Do you
each other.
think that's what, for a long time, like when data and tech was entering
Yes.
into the advertising world,
Yes.
it was kind of seen as these two separate
Yes.
entities
Yes.
that
Left,
were
right
worlds
brain,
away.
Left, right brain, and this is what I do, and you're screwing with me, and vice versa. It was hard, and we were early, so very few were doing it, and it took us a lot of work. But if you really begin to show how they fuel each other and can do really something very important together, it's amazing with that vision. They come together. And once we really got that down, and like I said, it took us, we're not a very good agency for about 3 years. And then once we got that down, things happened.
Was there a big moment? Was there a moment, like looking back, even Amanda, like in your time, where you kind of felt the change in momentum?
Well, I think it happened when we were acquired and became the Shipyard. I was formerly with another agency, and it was a beautiful moment, honestly, in the pandemic when a lot of people and agencies were having to let people go. And to tell the story, and not to take the words out of Rick's mouth, but he met our former CMO, Dave Mehring, and Dave was really honest about the struggles we were going through as an agency. And I think Rick heard the beauty in what we were doing and realized quite immediately that the people that had worked at Mehring belonged on the ship at the Shipyard. And more specifically, we were really like right brain creative. We loved to get into the insights and really what is the dream big. Visit California is one of our largest accounts. And so reaching into the emotion of what is making a brand campaign stand out was what I think the beauty you saw in us. And then the Shipyard was so dedicated to data and tech, and that was an area that we needed to grow and evolve in. And so what started as an unfortunate situation really started, I think, the beauty of all the other agencies and partners we've brought in to become the Shipyard that we are today.
Well, she always says an unfortunate situation. She's talking about an agency that joined us, Mehring Advertising. It was actually spectacular, not an unfortunate agency, but it was during COVID. And
Yeah,
COVID. And
yes,
all their
yes.
clients were travel and tourism, so it was
Right.
during COVID. So, of course, every client called and said, we're out. And the thing is others might have seen them as a travel and tourism agency. I didn't see that at all. I just saw great people, great account people, great creative and strategists. They just happened for that window of time been focused in travel and tourism. And we were working in finance, we were working in CPG, we were working in all these areas. Yet I did not feel that our creative jam, everything they had, I didn't feel our creative jam was good enough at all. I didn't think we were a good enough agency. And so we could accelerate by a fortunate, actually, situation. I felt for both of us that this was a time they kind of needed to join someone else, but I never saw them as a travel and tourism agency, and now we're one. Just
Right.
like we are.
Right.
Gotcha. So, like going back then, so understanding the full suite of who you guys work with, we sat in on a wonderful town hall today. Thank you for inviting us.
Yes.
Can you talk about some of the clients that you guys are working with today?
Well, I love the diversity of clients. We have like 200 clients, which is also wild. But the main
That's a
one,
lot of clients.
It is.
200 clients. I can't
200.
even
I don't
count to
have
200.
200
I
friends.
I don't have $200 in my bank account.
Yeah. Join us. We'll fix that.
So, but that's, and you say
No, but
diverse.
anyways, main one.
Yeah.
Okay, so big in mobility. Man, tell them about the mobility.
Yeah, I think one of the most exciting clients we're working with right now is Veloz, and they run the Electric for All campaign. And I think now is a pivotal moment in the country when it comes to thinking about electrification and EVs, and at a time when they're so divisive. We are the only voice out there right now with the message of the way forward is electric, and to be able to bring that to life specifically. And there's this whole ecosystem of sustainability and utility clients we're working with because we're really focused on the future. And I think the team finds a lot of love and value in behavior change and how it's like bettering the future. And so I know Rick said, we're more than a tourism agency. And one of the things I loved about coming on board is now we've expanded our breadth and depth of what that really means. And so these sustainability clients, the clients we're working on with CPG, have really made an impact in terms of how we are making and driving behavior change.
Yeah, so we have mobility. which is EV on the ground. We also work with Joby. Have you heard of Joby? Joby's the aerial. You probably heard about it today. Right?
We know about it. Maybe the people at home might not.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. From when we saw the whole presentation at Engineering Brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
Joby
Joby
is innovating all of aerial mobility and transportation. It's taking the world by storm, and it's a wonderful company. We work in economic development. We handle something called Jobs Ohio, which is marketing Ohio to the whole country. So we kind of market the heartland to the coast. And then at the same time, we are Visit California's agency. It's the biggest travel and tourism business, frankly, in the industry, which, of course, marketing California to the rest of the country and to the rest of the world. We work in finance. We have one of the largest accounting businesses. We have a B2B business with all sorts of industrials like DHL and Swisslog and, clients like that. So I don't believe in agency being specialized. Some agencies are specialized. Join us, like Herring was travel. I don't think we're supposed to be. Let's say if you have an insurance client, they have 10,000 people to know insurance. And agencies really make a mistake that we need to know insurance and everything about insurance. And there certainly are clients. I'm only hiring someone that knows about insurance. It's a huge mistake. You already know about insurance. You're Nationwide or you're Allstate. You know about insurance. So you actually need a perspective opposite of that. And so if you wanted to say, so here's this Ohio agency. We do this thing in California. We handle Visit California. So we're headquartered in Ohio. Some would say, what the, WTF you're doing California. But the perspective that we bring to California, they don't need a California's perspective on California. They got to market to the world. Actually, it's my friends back in the heartland that sometimes have a real misperception of California, either through politics and all the rhetoric or crowds and taxes and all this. And California is, somebody called me like the Ted Lasso of California. Ted Lasso comes to London.
Yeah.
Wow,
Gotta get the mustache, Rick.
And this is it. I come to California and say, this is awesome.
He reminded me of that last
Oh
night.
my God, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Oh my God,
all
this
of
is
us
awesome.
Californians are sitting at the table and the sun is setting and he's walking out to take a picture of the sunset, and I had to remind myself for a minute, I live here too. This is a beautiful place and there's beauty in the little moments.
And that's what you're doing for the client.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
yes. we
need that
bring-
neutral third-party perspective, somebody that doesn't breed this stuff every single day, that
Yeah.
can actually take a step back, look at what's going on, and point out the obvious, which I think a lot of people fail to do.
Yeah, I can't help but think of my surf instructor Tate this morning. Someone
We
like
brought
him.
up surfing.
So yeah, we were able to go surfing. It was a life-changing experience. I'm surprised it took me this long to bring it up.
He was very good at it.
It's very good, but I can't help but think of Tate. Tate is he's Southern California through and through. He's got a different story. If he was trying to explain California to a schmuck like me, coming from born and raised in the Midwest, living in New York now, it might be a different tone than what I'd want to hear versus someone who has a third-party perspective. And so that was talking Tate.
So Jack, my question to you.
Yeah, I had a question for you.
I had a question. So how would you describe San Diego from your morning and what you've seen so far? Because you have that Midwest, New York, East Coast perspective now. I want to hear your go at describing that experience.
I would go as far as to say I only like myself when I'm in San Diego is how I would
100%
describe
right.
that. Yeah.
Well,
I
it's-
only like myself when I'm here.
It's a sense of optimism that is specifically here. The climate, it's a beautiful bubble that really infuses into the lifestyle. And I would say what we offer is this sense of optimism, and that's why we have an office here. The creativity and the innovation, I think people underestimate the biotech and the companies that are coming to San Diego and choosing to stay and evolve here. And we're very fortunate to work with a lot of great local San Diego clients too, not just we have global clients, but to be able to really dig into the community. And I think San Diego is an underrepresented community in the advertising world. Like, we've all been quietly, working really hard, putting our heads down, well grounded, and I think you've seen today we're ready to speak up. San Diego is about to stand up for ourselves.
Well, okay, so that was right in there was an insight. So San Diego, which we always presented ourselves in smiles and happiness, still is. We actually just pivoted in strategy, not a complete pivot, but the pivot is it is a place of optimism. Now, a place of optimism is a much deeper comment than just happy. I mean, it has a business element to it. It is a state of being. And so you recognize, wow, right now, optimism is a bit of a zig to a zag. There ain't a heck of a lot of information. There ain't a lot happening out there to make me optimistic. So if we can own optimism, we own something that will draw me no matter who I am and what people, and it's really working. And that's our San Diego, because we handle Visit San Diego as well as Visit California.
Yeah, I mean, there's like only a handful of places that I can think of where someone can say, like in conversation, they're proud and they're excited and optimistic about being in San Diego. And I can only say about a few places. I feel like when I talk about like Chicago, where we're from, or New York City, my brain immediately goes to like, I like it, but God, man, the weather sucks. Or like there's a million people everywhere. Or you go to like a negative connotation almost for it. But when you're in San Diego, it's like you're weird if you're like, I hate San Diego. Yeah. Like you're an idiot.
We are a bubble.
Yeah.
But I'd say, the entire state is a beautiful place to be. And specifically why we have offices in Sacramento and San Diego is to be able to show the beauty of the state and the people that we're able to draw here. And San Diego specifically, the universities that are around and the younger talent we're able to draw and bring in and get them really excited about being a part of this industry is a huge part of it as well. And so that optimism is a through line. And I think we were talking about earlier, like what also is the through line between San Diego and Columbus, Ohio. And I would say specifically the people, I think there is some type of camaraderie, because when you go to Columbus, that's also kind of like a collegiate town, and everybody is like grounded and thoughtful and just really ready for what's to come. And there isn't like a competitiveness or all right, throw it away, start over. It's more of a let's all come to the table, build this thing together. And I think, San Diego's a military town. And so, and Ohio has all of their business and industry that's happening in CPG. And so when we came together, there was the ability to, share the optimism and the ability to just get to work.
Ohio State football team's pretty militant too.
Yes.
Bucks.
That's right, Gino.
Pretty damn good.
Right, pretty damn good. I had a note.
You went there? Did you go?
I went there, always
Seats,
there,
always
totally
there.
like blood.
We know to leave them alone when they play Michigan and they black out all the M's.
Can't say that.
I had a
Jack,
question.
You're
hand over
raising-
there, we're having a conversation.
you're
You're
raising
something
your
over
hand?
there.
There's something.
So were you that kind
there's
of
something-
student? Were you?
Yeah, where there's.
My arm's hurting.
Well, now he can do it on Zoom too. Is your little hand already raised?
I have a question back to an earlier comment. I'm gonna rewind back, but Rick, you said something that was really interesting about like it took a while, but you really invested in the idea of bringing it, left side brain, right side brain together in a time before it was like super popular to do it, and you went with it. I think there's a lot of ad agency leaders that are going through the process that you went through several years ago of saying there's this tech evolution that's happening, and I know I have creativity, but I don't know how to instill change within this organization to like take that leap forward. Is there anything you learned from just doing it recently?
I mean that's why we're growing, because we did it early. I had the thing to learn here. The main thing to learn is don't get caught up in the technology. Get caught up in what you're doing with humanity, with the technology. It's about human beings. And what happens is you end up in 15 meetings, right, where someone's showing you their platform, the new platform, the this and that. And honestly, you begin to feel inferior, right? Mm-hmm. I don't, that's not my business. I'm not a coder and such. And a lot of my colleagues do that. And they're about to pitch something to somebody with technology. I don't really know. Biggest thing is you do know. If you're a vendor and agency person, if you're a chief marketing officer, if you're a brand person, even if you're not a digital native, I'm not, 66 years old, even if you're not an AI native, certainly not that. It doesn't matter. It matters if you're a poser. If you pretend, do not be a poser. I do know that, and you start pontificating. That matters a lot. But it's all marketing and people. It's all understanding human beings, and understanding them more and more and more, and then applying that to marketing concepts and just have a frickin' blast with it. But very few people are having fun with it. Most people are completely frickin' do you find that? They're almost depressed, and they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, and I think it's a great reminder. I feel like you like our guy from P&G,
Yeah.
Chief Brand Officer,
Yeah,
CMO,
Mark
Pritchard.
Yeah.
Mark Pritchard. I feel like he shares such a similar. And P&G is also. Please tell me I'm going to get this right. Ohio.
Columbus, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
So I feel like you have a good thought with him too.
I mean, he's been in the business. He's been at Procter & Gamble for 4 decades plus, and just like his POV on like brand campaigns, like staying in love with them and like knowing the consumer, the fundamentals are always going to be there. He even says like we as advertisers get too tired of our campaigns and we churn them out too fast. But it's just like he just sticks to the fundamentals. Yeah. They invented advertising, that company essentially, the right way of marketing. Yeah. So I just love when people can commit to those fundamentals for the long term. That's why you've been able to stay in the business. You've grown this empire yourself here. It's really incredible to see.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never call it an empire. I'm not interested. But yes, we've grown through that concept.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, you've grown Shipyard immensely. In the since 2013. What is the vision? Like, where do you want to take this to? What's the next level? What's the next 5 years?
We're the best agency in the country. We're going to build it globally, and the reason I say that is when you bring all of these communication elements together, and then you're going to hear next week an announcement of things we are doing in AI, one of the leading product development and what we're doing from an AI standpoint. And if you truly can break down those silos, not a holding company as a PR company, a design company, and you do that, now is the best time for that than ever because of what we're talking about, because of generative search, because nobody knows if they were engaged in something paid, earned, or owned, and we did it. Just like before, we brought technology or data and creativity technology. Now we've done this. It's not groundbreaking. Dude, I've heard of integrated marketing forever. You bring these things together, but we went and got the most excellent. We put it together, and we're going to build that, and it will be a foundation. And then I do think we'll do, we will go global with it. So that is my intention.
And I was going to say, from an account person's perspective, how often are we in briefings where maybe the people in the room are limited? So to be able to reach out and know that you have the best owned, earned digital experts, pull them in early, make the ideas better, has been so valuable.
You mean limited by whatever assignment?
Exactly, whatever they.
Not limited people. She didn't mean that.
But like the amount of people you're putting in the room at the moment, you can draw on more inspiration. And I think the other thing about working here is our clients are involved a lot sooner in the process too, in the way that we're coming to our ideas. So I think the future is endless for us right now with all of the impact players that we've been able to bring together at what the Shipyard is today.
Yeah, call it an empire though.
Not. We were talking about. We had that militant. Gino's gonna call it. Gino calls it.
San Diego.
Gino calls
We're
it
not
that.
doing anything with Greenland. We're good.
Yeah.
No empire.
My question is, as you think about like scaling up, there's that's kind of a hot topic in the industry, probably always, but the idea of scaling up creativity. This idea of getting to a point where you have like the right number of employees where you have the same idea across the board, everyone has a shared vision, but you're not too big to the point where you're losing it because things are fragmented or scattered across the organization. How do you think about maintaining that core DNA as you get bigger and go global?
The only place critical mass has mattered is in media, although that's changing now because digital media doesn't require critical mass. Critical mass meaning thousands of people. Other than that, thousands of people does, it's fairly useless for you. So you're absolutely right. So how do you keep scaling? You just need to hold on that what is the truth and the soul for you. You give people a real destination and a vision. You understand the capacity of human beings and what they can become. Human beings never have to be obsolete. They always can develop. And so you build a platform where they can move back and forth and develop and gain understanding and be involved in everything. So I don't know if I'm answering your question. You just basically, I don't know if I'm going to answer your question, but I am going to tell you what it takes to, the absolute fundamental primary thing it takes to lead a business that's growing, or lead a business and keep people. If you want to grow, you got to keep people and have them develop. And it's the truth.
Yeah.
Very simple, but when you're a leader like me, and honestly, it takes years to know it, to be honest. So I am speaking with a little bit of age wisdom. It's not that it's not that most people are liars, or most leaders are liars. They aren't. I mean, there's a few schmucks in the world, but most of them have good intentions. But what we might tend to do as a CEO is start to spin things, or be careful, or we don't need to say that, and we don't, we should wait to say that. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get a lot of counsel, to be honest, most of which I ignore, to be honest, of telling me, please be careful about sharing this, please be careful about talking about that. Oh, we have this problem, why don't we not deal with that? And I don't do that, and some people laugh and say that dude has no filter. Actually, I'm very prepared and careful about what I say when I'm saying to someone something. People want the truth, and they're amazing when they have the truth. And they come up with amazing ideas when they have the truth. And they will help you navigate with other challenges. Unless the truth is something that says, now I know the truth, I'm out. But most people are so inspired by just telling the truth. And so if you are at a place where you feel you're getting the truth, and I'm sure there's days we don't pull this off. It's a complicated business, hundreds of clients, hundreds of millions of dollars in billings. Right now, thousands of things are going on. I can't tell you it's always going on so epically. But if you're at a place that you feel you're getting the truth, you can grow that from we're about 400 or 500 people to 1,000 people, a few thousand people, and not lose the soul. Just don't make it too complicated. Just deal with the truth.
Feels very Steve Jobsian, Gino, of I
didn't study him enough. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think mostly on the side of having such a clear vision, and that's how you scale up and get and create a place where going from 500 employees to 1,000 doesn't feel so impossible when, as a leader, you're so clear about what the vision is, and then putting people in a position, because then you feel like Steve Jobs would say that you're giving people the agency to come up with ideas and be creative if they're all so radically on the same ship, moving in the same direction. And obviously that communication starts from the top. And so if you're unbelievably clear about where you're going, it makes it so much easier to get everyone to move with the same kind of flow and direction. Gino, thought on that one? What do you think?
Listen, it's not easy to pick a North Star as a leader and stick with it and commit to it. For a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, you're saying the same message over and over. This is what we're going to be, this thing. And it seems like you've been able to do that for so long, and everybody's buying it, and it's working.
What excites you two about the business?
I love the people. What excites me the most
About this business or about the industry?
Industry, yeah.
This industry. Well, I was kind of saying it earlier.
Super
I think
Bowl
it's
coming up.
Super Bowl. There you
Super
go.
Bowl's coming up every year. That's a good one.
Good answer, man.
It's a good one.
It's the time where everybody actually is excited about the commercials. It's the
What
only
excites you about the industry?
I mean, I think we've seen a lot of great work from the team today, and I'm excited about the fresh new talent that's coming in. I was watching some of the other content that you all create and just how important it is to nurture and train and develop this next class of advertisers who don't have necessarily all the people connection or the tools. When I hard to believe I still had job jackets when I was starting in advertising, and I'm not
They
that
don't know
I'm
what
not
a
that
job
old.
jacket
I'm not that old.
I don't know what that is.
It's an envelope with stuff in
Exactly.
it.
And so what I'm excited about is the intentionality of which tech can connect everybody to make work together, and to not just be the traditional, I'm putting an art director with a copywriter and now here's our campaign, but to bring in, like I said earlier, the different voices that can lend to the great ideas, because I think a lot of the work we've created had more people in the room than just the traditional sense of creativity, and it's a real group effort, and that's why we stand for being force multipliers here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited about the Super Bowl, to be honest. I mean, I'm excited. We have a bunch of activations at the Super Bowl, and our clients are very involved in the Super Bowl. But so far, I've thought, let's see this year. I thought the last few years kind of sucked.
Not last year when the Eagles won. Go Birds.
Last
No,
year.
the Super Bowl. The
ads.
Yeah.
I know.
And I think when you get in that, it is a wonderful media buy because everybody's watching. And sports is only on an ascendancy. Anyone saying sports, it's overpriced, they're wrong. It's going to keep ascending for the obvious reason that, you're going to watch the
Yeah,
ads.
it's the only time. Yeah, live sports.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
where everybody can actually tune in.
Absolutely, everybody. But somehow that mass, I do think, does not help creativity. I think what's going on with generative search, with AI, with all the different ways that we can serve people and reach people is going to be our rejuvenation or energy for creativity.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what does excite me about the business. You guys are the personification of what excites me about the business.
Oh,
When,
thank you.
No, when you get, and I'm really not blowing smoke to you guys, but the fact you're here, when you get to my place, I've been doing this for over 40 years. Every morning I get up, I say, who would have thunk they paid me again, But you do get to a stage in life, you lead a business like this and such, and when I see young people, 20-somethings and such, and the excitement they're seeing in this business. I was at Advertising Week. I saw you there. I was at Cannes. We were just at CES. The thing that struck me, which had not happened, was that young people right out of college, young people are getting in our business. They're interested in our business, and they should be. It's hard. It's stressful. So that's one reason a lot of them wouldn't. Everybody says, this generation, they don't want to work. Well, what are they coming to an end? I guess they do.
Right.
Because if they went to an insurance company, they really could leave at 5 o'clock. Well, the only reason we're going to leave early is we're going to have a happy hour with you guys. But generally, so they want that excitement. They want that. They want to create something. You want to do something. You want to build something. And that's what I'm seeing. And so I'm in the late chapter of my career. And so when I see that, I'm excited for the future of this business.
It's amazing to see just generally in creativity, the barrier to getting eyeballs on something that you're making is as low as it's ever been. Yeah. Like there are so many cinematographers or video editors or content creators that would have never had opportunities that they have now because they can just themselves post something online, get millions of views, get the right people's attention, and now all of a sudden this person is in their dream career path, and they're the ones that are moving the industry forward because the barrier to entry has never been lower, whether it's technology or the distribution of social media.
That's a huge insight. So the barrier of entry in order to post anything or share anything is low. The other thing is because information is every day raising up here well above my head as to the common information we have due to generative search, due to AI, and we're only at the beginning, so that's going to go up. So in the past, if I just gave you information through advertising, through marketing, through public relations, I achieved something. I don't achieve anything giving you information. Nothing. So only thing I can achieve is to give you something to feel. Now that's a harder challenge. Well, that's a hell of a lot more exciting challenge than giving you the information. A lot more. and it's going to push us, and it's going to bring the greatest people, and it's going to bring the greatest creative minds, and it's always going to take younger people to and think freshly, and that's why we're in a creative evolution, biggest creative energy in the next 10, 20 years. That's what's going to happen.
Gonna engineer some brand love.
Engineer brand love.
Engineering brand love. It's too easy, right, Patty? That was good. Yeah, I'm getting the thumbs up. That was a good one. That was friggin' money.
Who's our chief marketing officer over there?
Gino,
How can
anything
people
else?
reach out, learn more about you guys? If they want to work for you guys, or if their clients are listening, work with you all, what's the best way to go?
TheShipyard.com. That's it.
Yeah.
TheShipyard.com, and new site coming out next week.
Oh,
Find us
It'll
on
be out.
LinkedIn.
It'll be
Our
out.
names.
No matter where you live in the country. Denver, nice office in Denver.
Denver.
I'm a Colorado guy. San Diego, Sacramento, Chicago, New York, Columbus. We do not compel people to come to offices, but they come. And we do center things around our offices.
beautiful.
And, yeah.
Beautiful space.
Beautiful space, beautiful people, beautiful industry,
Aw.
beautiful clients,
Oh,
beautiful creative,
oh, come on, Jack.
beautiful conversation pet, beautiful dog.
Yes.
What's your dog? That's your
Archie.
dog.
Archie.
Why she?
Nope.
Archie?
He's just
Just woke-
chilling.
Just woke up
Archie
Archie.
do like Scooby Doo.
Archie do. See you later.
Why is Archie do like Scooby-Doo?
Just because
the do.
he's got the do at the end,
the
and
blue
he's
collars.
working really hard. I'd say all the dogs here we put to work, and they also only come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays too.
Who let the dogs out? Who? Famous lyric from a famous song. I don't know who made that song, to be honest.
You just
No.
did it. You don't
Pitbull.
Really know what you did.
Shaggy,
Might be Shaggy.
Shaggy or Pitbull?
maybe.
All right, that's all we got.
None of
That's
them
all
are
we-
right. None of those are
Thank you
right.
so much. Farewell. We hate to see you go. Another great song. I could keep going all day. Thanks so
All right.
much.
Thanks, guys.
That was it.
That was awesome.
Boom.
Great.